I told him we wanted to get to that. We would get to that, but first we have to do this. Hey, welcome. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatever it is, wherever you are. Welcome to Clapier on Radio. You're listening to AM 860, and we're glad to have you with us in this show segment. Stay with us throughout the hour. We have an interview that will make you think and it could appall you. It certainly will entertain you, but will make you see that there is more going on in our culture than just politics. And yet, those things that are going on in our culture point to politics. You're listening to Clapier on Radio. I'm Michael Clapier, and I welcome you. I want to spend just a moment and talk about the importance. There are many things to be aware of as we enter into this final week of political posturing and caring about and carrying on and worrying if anyone knows anything. And I do know what I think I know. And that may not be much, but it's what I've been going on for a long time, and I hope I can share a couple of thoughts with you. I wanted to bring up this subject because, as I mentioned, the interview that follows will dig into this, and you will find it very, very compelling. We have on the ballot always issues about our society, and one of the things that we must pay attention to is that we are spending so much time within this mantra of political correctness that we have stopped thinking on our own. We have stopped looking at the well-reasoned experience of human time, and we now move forward with these agendas that are leading us to danger and, in some cases, ruin, and in many cases, unnecessary pain. And the one I want to talk with you right now about, and that is the role of fathers. Now, before you say, wait a minute, I've heard it, let me share some things that you may not know. And that is the importance of the father. We are being bombarded with an agenda that says fathers are no longer relevant. But yet, we know that boys from fatherless families are now twice as likely to end up in prison before the age of 30 as those boys who are raised with a father. We also know that girls raised in homes without their fathers are much more likely to engage in early sexual behavior and end up pregnant as teenagers. Studies indicate it's not an opinion, it's not an agenda, it's a fact. It's a little thing that we used to call truth, but we are afraid to share any longer because we might offend someone in the social circles. We've got to stop being afraid of truth. Let me tell you what I believe truth to be. Truth is the knowledge of things as they are right now, what brought them here, the things were before, and what is going to happen in the future. If you project that into the future, now, before, future. And there's a theme of continence and continuity and reality that weaves us and helps us understand what is truth. And when we look at a trend, and we say that trend is no longer true, but it's coming from somewhere, it's going to take us somewhere. And these trends that I'm speaking about are dictating that the best interest of the child is for a home where there are two parents. And I'm not going to go into the whole, yeah, but I don't like her anymore. We had to break up for the good of the children and all the other things that get involved. That's another conversation. I'm talking right now about people who are committed in a relationship with life partners, male and female, who are helping their children do what's best for their children, which is, yes, the traditional family. It has value, and when we have that, we have less of this. Children who grow up without their married fathers are also more likely to experience depression, behavioral problems, and school expulsion. And there is more abuse, physical, sexual, and emotional in homes without fathers. One study found abuse to be 10 times more likely for children in homes with their mother and an unrelated boyfriend. 10 times. Think of truth. Truth is father. Truth is mother. Truth is children. Best scenario for families. Always possible? Of course not. We're humans. We're failures. We mess up. We goof up. But best scenario? Mom, dad, kids. True. Has been, is now, will be. True. Now, you disagree? give me a call. I'm at AM 860, Michael Clapier. I want to talk to you because these challenges can partly be explained by the fact that these children are more likely to grow up in poverty. But that too reveals the importance of dads, as married fathers are the primary breadwinners in almost 70% of married homes. But that too reveals the importance of dads, as married fathers are the primary breadwinners in almost 70% of married homes, providing resources that benefit children in a host of ways. Now, in spite of the evidence, some academics and public opinion makers are championing the notion that fathers are not, in fact, essential. In fact, two researchers recently argued the gender of parents only matters in ways that don't really matter. Isn't that tremendous? The gender of parents only matters in ways that don't really matter. Though it may be important to have two parental figures, here we go, bring on the correctness, bring on the tyranny. Even though it may be important to have two parental figures, their genders and relationship to the child don't really matter. According to this narrative, and there's the narrative word, oh, that word makes me crazy, because we never want to say what is best, wisest, or true, or correct. We always want to say, well, that narrative. Here's the narrative that makes sense. And we always shape narratives. We don't want to try to find out the best. And it's really damaging us, and it's time that we say enough is enough. According to this narrative, where it only matters in ways that don't really matter, mothers and fathers can each do what the other can do, and they do it just as well. So one or the other is unnecessary and therefore replaceable. Easy to see why these claims seem believable. We all know mothers who are breadwinners and fathers who perform the traditional female role of providing full-time quality child care. But are mothers and fathers really the same? Do mothers father and do fathers mother in the same way that other people do? We're going to explore that with you. We want to get back to you. We want you to call us because we are concerned about what's happening in the family, and it's time for us to step up and stop running and stop hiding and accept the responsibility that the solution is us. You're listening to Clapier on Radio. We'll be back. Call us. Join this conversation.